Okay, now one thing I want to, which this does seem to make a lot of sense to me, is that this was last year, February 27th of last year, 2010. And this thing was still way out there. And for this to be a comet and have this much effect, and also the significance of these huge earthquakes happening on these alignments, is telling me either this is one motherlode of a comet or this is something else. And I strongly believe that it could very possibly be something else. I mean, then again, nothing could happen on this. But it's still not to be taken lightly. But anyways, here we have February 27th, 2010. You can see the sun, the earth, and ELEnin were aligned. Right here. So, and that is when you had the 8.8 chilly quake, and that is when the Earth's axis shifted. I think it was like 2 inches. I am not really sure. You can find out more information. I favorited a video from Terrell03. He's got a lot of links up on there. I will also be using those links to make videos as well, to the best of my ability. So we can get more of this out there. So, and then the next alignment date, the significant date, which would have been September 4th, 2010, and that was the 7.2 Christchurch earthquake in New Zealand. I'm sure you guys remember that. So we'll go all the way up to September. Okay, back up just a little bit. This right here, you can see that it just passed Jupiter's orbit, and this is September 4th, 2010. I'm going to try and spin this around here. And you can clearly see, again, you have 4 alignments: Earth, Mercury, the Sun, and there's ELEnin. Right there, that is another alignment. And just by significance, you had a huge earthquake that happened in New Zealand. So I mean, why is this happening on these alignments? Something is up with this. And then we go to the latest one, which would have been March 11th. So we'll fast forward all the way up to March 11th. Oh, I'll stop that right on the dime. How about that? Okay. Here again, you can see Earth, the Sun, and ELEnin. Another perfect alignment. And you had this 9.0 quake. Now granted, now this is only 2.1 AU away from the Earth, and it's 3.1 from the Sun. So now things are getting closer, and yet you're having more you're having more damaging events happening. The tsunami, the 9.0 earthquake. At the same time, you had the waters rising in Florida. Texas aquifers were fluctuating. Greenland experienced sunrise 2 days early. This was all in that time frame. So now, let's go to the present day, which is July 14th. And so we can see where it's at right now. Here you can see. I'll zoom this in a little more so you can see it better. Now actually, look at this. You actually have an alignment right here. And you have an alignment with the sun. And apparently there's been some really big changes. This is when it's at the lowest perigee with the sun right here on July 7th. So we'll go back to 14th. That's kind of interesting. I never even picked up on that. 1.6 now. Now obviously we're getting closer to where it's an equal distance between the sun and the earth with this thing. So let's fast forward to September 11th. And there you can see that is when it is the closest to the sun, ELEnin is, and yet you have an alignment right here too between ELEnin and the earth. And then go a little bit more in. This is probably going to be the biggest, this is probably going to be one of the bigger events here. September 24th, or the 26th, here you have another perfect alignment between the sun, ELEnin, and the earth. I mean, you can't really say anything with these dates too, because I mean it's really close. But this is where it seems you have another perfect alignment. So, and I think since it's a lot closer now, then that Japan 9.0 quake is going to be like a walk in the park. You know, and at that time when it was closest to the sun, you know, to the sun, that's probably your what could be your 3 days of darkness, where the sun will go black, and that's mentioned in Revelations. So let's fast forward all the way to October 17th. This is the second time it's going to cross Earth's orbit, and this is the closest it is going to be to the Earth. And then this is when the Earth is directly behind, and this is when the Earth crosses ELENin's orbit from behind here. So if there's any debris, or any other kind of events, that's when you can see things happening there too. So I mean, there is a lot of events coming up with this thing. I don't know what it's going to entail, and I don't know what it's going to do. All I'm showing you is these alignments and how significant they are, that you had these huge events happen with these alignments. And I'll continue on with the next video. Stay tuned.